Okay. Welcome back.
Hey, yeah. Yeah, it's a long sabbatical. I come back for this shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
Josh
God.
Trank's Fantastic Four. Whew. Well, I mean, I'll say this. At least you missed vacation.
Oh, Jesus, man. No, I will fucking say that, like, the past few weeks with my new job having to be out of town, like, I have missed fucking movie nights a lot. And I know I've missed a couple good movies, but fuck me. Fuck me, dude. Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah,
Man,
I
this
guess
movie
I missed
was
vacation.
so stupid.
This was, you know what? I'll say this. I would have hated the tone of this movie for a Fantastic Four, regardless of how this movie turned out. It would have been a bad adaptation. It was a fucking bad movie. It was a really bad movie.
Of all of the adjectives I can think of,
Fantastic is not it.
well, like, no, where I'm going with this is, of all the adjectives I can think of to describe a Fantastic Four movie, I never thought surprisingly gruesome would be one of them.
Like, I read it in some interview with Josh Trank where he's like, I'm really influenced by Cronenberg for this movie, and that was like the first sign that I was like, Cronenberg, Fantastic Four, this is.
I know
not
one
gonna
aspect
go well.
of this that he's talking about.
More than one, just the
off the top of my head.
Darkness of it all. Okay, let me say that as much as I bitched about Man of Steel for having the wrong tone, and I will stand by that movie is fucking awful. This was by far way more off base than that was.
Yeah,
Tonally.
but I thought Man of Steel was a worse movie.
Oh yeah, it's a much worse movie because you know what that boils down to me is, like, to me the Fantastic Four are very iconic because I'm a comic book kid. But Superman is kind of iconic to everyone.
Yeah.
And when you fuck up Superman, you fucked up pretty good. When you fuck up the Fantastic Four, you get like 3 more shots.
Fucking apparently! I have now seen 4 Fantastic Four movies, and the Corman one is still the best one.
Really is.
The one that was never released is the best one!
And it's still not a good movie, but it's the one that
At least has heart. Like, it at least...
It's at least kind of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
This is the angry brooding Four.
Oh, I know exactly what this is. Like, they wanted to make a YA movie. They wanted to turn the Fantastic Four into a YA movie. Like you mentioned earlier that this is from the same company that put out Mortal Instruments. That is so what they're doing here. They're trying to get in the Divergent audience, the young adult audience that goes to see all the YA. That's exactly what this movie is. But it's not a good one. Like, look,
No.
I can give a pass to something that's maybe a bad adaptation of something, but I still think is a great movie. One of my favorite movies of all time is Tim Burton's Batman. Probably not the most accurate interpretation of Batman ever put on film.
No, it's not. And like I've said before, especially in some of the Batman movies that we've seen, is I still have not seen a Batman movie that's the Batman movie that I feel like I want to see a Batman movie. We've had good movies with Batman in them.
Fuck yeah.
Like Batman Returns.
Hell yeah, Batman Returns.
Which is even further off than a lot of Batman movies. You know, but... And, you know, I love the first 2 movies in Nolan's trilogy.
Yeah.
I really do. I hate the third one. I love the first 2.
Yeah.
And the third one, it's not because it's a poorly made movie or anything like that. It's just, it was There's a lot of reasons I don't like it.
No, I didn't care too much for it either. But this is there's just so much of this movie that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, all right, let's start with the beginning of this movie, where it goes back to when they're little kids
in like 5th grade or something.
In 2007. Which looks like 1987, by the way. You know what the first act of this movie was? When they're little kids and in the 5th grade? It felt like I was watching like a knockoff of Explorers.
A little bit, yeah.
The young Ben Grimm even looked a little like River Phoenix.
A little bit, yeah. And the young Reed Richards, where they put the really bad fake scars on him.
Fake scars on him.
To make him match Miles Teller.
Yeah. So it looked like, from the way the classroom looked, from the way they're dressed, from even one of the TVs that Mike O'Malley is watching in the fucking movie, from all of that, I'm sitting there like, 2007, my ass. Like, this looks like a Joe Dante movie from like 30 years ago.
And and that was the other thing that cracked me up. When it shows Reed's little workshop, he's got a bunch of Nintendo 64s linked together. And it's like, people did that with Xboxes for a reason. Is because it was basically a little PC. N64... And please, correct me if I'm wrong, but an N64 doesn't really do the same fucking thing.
Yeah, but the 360 doesn't have GoldenEye.
True. True. Well, it does, but it's just not the same.
Yeah, they did go. Okay, yeah, that did get. Yeah, okay, that did get ported to the 360, and I had it on the Wii.
Yeah.
You're right. It's not the same. I could fuck around a lot more in the Nintendo 64 version. In the newer version, I fuck around. I die in 30 seconds. I want to shoot scientists. God damn it!
Yeah. Don't just end the level for me. Let me keep fucking shooting. Scientists.
Fuck. So then it flashes back to it. Then it doesn't flash back. It flashes forward. It flashes forward to present day when they're at a science fair. And I guess from 5th grade to the present, his teacher is just still Dan Castellaneta.
Yeah, still Dan Castellaneta. And they've aged 20 fucking years.
I was trying to run that math in my head too. I was like, how is it, like 16, 17?
They're supposed to be like 17 or 18.
How old are they supposed to be here?
And fucking...
Here's my problem with this science fair scene. Not only would that win the science fair...
Without question!
They have created just a matter transferring device, which they show, first of all, when he's in 5th grade and he's giving a speech talking about how this is what he wants to do. It's his dream to build this. Dan Castellaneta, the teacher, is like, whatever, come back tomorrow and tell us a real job. Like, okay, whatever. So then in present day, at this science fair, they have created a fully functioning matter transfer device. It works! It's this big bubble around this little model plane that he's using. It disappears, and then it's replaced by dirt from wherever it came from, and then it comes back. It fucking works! And Dan Castellaneta and the people judging this science fair are like, disqualified. This is a science fair and not a magic show. Fucking what?
Yeah.
That's like beyond like that scene in Chappie when Sigourney Weaver when dude creates artificial intelligence, Sigourney Weaver's like, oh, we don't have any use for that here. What? Like, this is even beyond that.
Yeah, no, this...
Oh my god! That's probably where the movie lost me. No, maybe it was when Ben Grimm is getting bullied and his older brother says it's clobbering time.
And then starts hitting him. Fucking way to ruin something that for fucking 40, 50 years has been a cry of pure joy in my life. It's clobbering time. Every time For 40 fucking years, I heard that or saw it in print. It's like, yeah!
Now it's about bullying.
Fucking beating the shit out of your siblings.
Was that worse than when later on, when Sue Storm says to Victor Von Doom, "Oh, jeez, whatever, Dr. Doom." It's the closest he comes to this movie to being a doctor. Actually, even in the Corman one, he didn't actually graduate college.
All right. You know, they got everything wrong in this movie, but they got Doom really wrong.
Doom in this movie.
All kinds of wrong. Everything about this movie is just tonally it's off. But
tonally, it is bleak as fuck.
Really bleak. Like, when I think the Fantastic Four, I think, like, far out science, like, kind of fun and quirky and to a degree heartwarming, because they're a cohesive family, you know, they're a dysfunctional family, but they're a family.
The Corman one got that fucking right.
And see, that's the thing, like, even the Tim Story ones got that right to a degree. Like, you know, the Tim Story ones, for all their failings, at least were tonally kind of along the same lines, or tonally along the right lines, I should say. They were just, it was maybe just dumbed down a little too much, but you can still have that kind of tone and have an intelligent, fun action movie.
This was just, I don't even know what to compare this to. This was like, like I can see like where he's like trying to make some Cronenberg science movie or something like that with
obviously.
this, like hardcore, because that's, yeah, he said that, and so Reed Richards is hired on into this unit that is making a giant, fully functioning matter transferring device. All right, so they recruit pretty much fucking anybody in this thing. Like, oh man, my son, he's a delinquent, but he's good at building cars. So let's do this. There is no security in this fucking thing. You can just fully just take a fucking picture and send it to your buddy if you want. And so they got Sue Storm in on this too. And Victor Von Doom, who is like some late 90s hacker.
I wouldn't even say hacker, just...
What was he?
I'm not even sure.
Shouldn't you have him arrested? Nah, he's the best. Alright. This is kind of important shit we're doing here. And so they have and they create it. It works. And then Tim Blake Nelson comes in, and Tim Blake Nelson's like, well, we're gonna talk to NASA. And they're like, what? We wanted to go through the portal. No, we're gonna get like astronauts to do this. Oh man. So then they decide to get drunk. When there's no security in this fucking building in any way, shape, or form, so they can just get fucking loaded and just use this machine if they want.
And 3 men loaded on like a fucking tiny little flask of whatever.
Yeah.
But loaded. Off.
Well, I understand Miles Teller's character being loaded in this. Which Miles Teller, by the way, Sarah and I mentioned how, what's his face? Nat Wolf from, Paper Towns was kind of Cusack-y in it. Miles
Teller is very Cusack.
Oh, it was more so just kind of the character Nat Wolf was playing in that movie. It's like something you would have seen in like The Sure Thing or something like that. In this movie, oh no, Miles Teller is 100% just straight up doing a John Cusack impression. Which is a good one, by the way.
Yeah, which kind of suits a little bit, but
it was a good impression. It helps that he looks like him.
Yeah, that's just... There's so much wrong with this movie.
Like, can you imagine, like, you know, when Apollo 11 is built, and, like, the dudes who built it are like, what? You're gonna send astronauts? Fuck that, let's get loaded and go up there ourselves. There's no security on this rocket ship, apparently.
And that was the analogy they used. Like,
they did.
No one remembers the engineers. Well, sadly, no. But you know who remembers the engineers? Fucking Neil Armstrong does. Fucking Neil Armstrong was like, those fuckers are the reason I'm alive today.
And I guarantee you people who are hardcore into space and space travel and space travel history know exactly who the engineers are.
Well, and there was probably hundreds of them. And to think, too, that, like these 4 people are taking credit for this entire project. Like, yeah, someone's team leader, I'm sure, but, like, I'm sure hundreds of people...
There's hundreds of people who are there working on it. And then, meanwhile, like, fucking Doom is just being totes jealous because Reed Richards is talking to Sue Storm. Ooh.
Yeah, and...
oh, shit!
And they don't even really address the Reed Richards Sue Storm romance. It's just they talk, and Doom gets jealous. And Doom, I think, is supposed to be like 7 or 8 years older than the rest of them, and he's crushing on Sue Storm. To me, that's a little fucking creepy.
I don't know. Is Sue Storm supposed to be Reed Richards' age in the movie?
I think so. Yeah.
She was okay. I never really got the hint. She was also a high school student. Because she seemed to be out of high school when all of this is going on.
Well, I think what they were... in the Ultimate Comics, like, the Baxter Building Foundation is supposed to be a school environment.
Yeah.
Like a working research school. And I think they were trying to hint at that in this. But here's the other thing. Like, in the Fantastic Four, when doing this, when you're doing these weird far-out things, and you're doing it so often, in any movie, you really have to give at least enough of an explanation for it to fly. In this movie, they're just like, nope, take it at face value.
That's exactly what they do. You're supposed to take everything at face value. Like, fuck, I don't even know if, like, were Doom and Sue Storm like a couple in the past, or is he just crushing on her?
I think he's just a creepy dude.
Okay, like they don't really get much into that other than he obviously kind of has a thing for her. I don't know. I wasn't sure if there was some kind of history there, but you are supposed to take everything at face value in this, because when they go up to this Nickelodeon slime planet, Earth at Planet Zero. Yeah, Planet Zero. So it's Planet Zero, which is like a lot of rocks and green slime and wind and dust.
It's supposed to be a weird placeholder for the negative zone from the comics.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I don't know why they just didn't call it the fucking negative zone and come up with a reason to call it that. It's gonna be called Earth, like Planet Zero.
Yeah, they call it Planet Zero, and so they go up there and they're just like dicking around. Wow.
Well, they're drunk.
But they were acting stone cold sober at this point. At this point, like, earlier they were acting drunk. At this point, they really come across like they've sobered up. Like, I would honestly totally buy it more if they were still acting drunk on this planet, but they're not. They're not. They're acting like they totally just are not like boozing at all, and they start fucking dicking around, and of course bad shit fucking happens when they're dicking around on this fucking slime weird green energy planet. So yeah, Doom, like, they think he's dead, and when they go back into their shuttles that's gonna send them back to Earth, it's basically the Fly. It's the Fly. It is the logic of the Fly, which is why we have at least 3 members of the Fantastic Four. Rocks get into Ben Grimm's chamber, so he becomes a rock man. Fire gets into Johnny Storm's. Reed Richards, I don't know why he stretches.
Actually, there's no good explanation for why Sue Storm gets powers at all in this movie, because she doesn't go on this fucking trip.
No, she's back.
She's left behind because, you know, she's the fucking girl, I guess. Which I'm sorry, like, normally I won't get all feministic on fucking movies and shit and bitch about shit like that, but that was some fucking horse shit in this movie.
Well, at least Reed Richards didn't slap her this time.
True.
Or make her clean the apartment afterward.
Hey, it was a different time.
Me and Violet were trading those back and forth the other day, like, oh, I got one that can top it. Here, check this out.
I'm just really thankful that shit's really not considered canon anymore. But yeah, it was the early 60s when that shit was written. I mean, it's pretty shitty.
When Reed Richards was Don Draper.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It was a different time.
No,
not saying it's good.
Well, no, I know what you mean. Like, she doesn't even know the thing is going on in this until, like, one security thing goes off in this super secret program.
And it goes off on specifically the computer she's working on.
Just fucking one computer is the security system going off on this. And then there is this, like, electromagnetic blast, which makes her invisible.
But here's the thing, like, yes, she gets hit by the shockwave.
Mm-hmm.
But it also hits everyone else, not only in the building, the fucking city of New York. And she's the only one outside the capsule to get fucking powers.
She was standing closest to it.
Oh, she was.
It's got a proximity range in terms of powers. And then this is when it gets really bleak, like, because it's actually quite horrifying and gruesome. Like, you just see, like, Johnny Storm is just a corpse on fire.
Yeah.
He is, like, wow! Like, it just looks like a skeletal, bloody remain of a corpse just in flames. Like, fucking, like, Reed's just, like, covered in dust and blood and shit like that. And he wakes up just all stretched out and shit, like, ah, ah, like screaming. And I mean, I'll say this: the Mr. Fantastic effects were better in this than they were in the Tim Story ones.
They were, and I'll say the Human Torch effects were actually pretty solid too.
Yeah.
But
then there's no, sorry, go ahead.
Then there's other CGI in this movie that is, we'll come back to it.
Yeah.
But it's fucking awful.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is very goddamn unnecessary.
Oh, horribly unnecessary.
Yeah.
Like, you just took me out of the movie for no reason whatsoever.
Oh, man. Okay. But, okay. It's suddenly they're Area 57. They're being tested upon. And Reed Richards panics and fucking runs away.
He escapes very easily. Another area, which is
from Area 57.
Area 57, which, again, very shitty security. He is just able to just fucking get in, like, a fucking air vent and just run out and escape.
And this high school kid who, albeit is very smart, but probably has very little street sense, somehow makes it to fucking, like, Paraguay. But beside the fucking point.
He's able to change races, too.
Yeah! Yeah! How the fuck
He could shift his face and make himself look like he's, like, Peruvian.
How do you change his fucking skin tone, though, motherfucker? How do you stretch that shit?
That was so weird, because, like, he shows up as this other dude, and I'm like, I think that's supposed to be Reed Richards, but that doesn't look like Miles Teller. That looks like a man of a completely different race. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Is he just tired?
And then he has this shitty fucking patchy beard. I hope to God that's not Miles Teller's real facial hair. I feel bad for him. It is. It's just like, it's very puby and sporadic. Which,
it's a very puby Fantastic Four movie. At least he's got some pubes. Fucking Ben Grimm doesn't have any.
Okay, we'll get back. So, Reed Richards runs away, assume forward to a year later, and fucking Ben Grimm is just working for the military, I guess.
Weapon X.
Yeah, and it's just like, is just hunting down insurgents and shit.
Yeah, he's beating. He's basically like, it's like that scene from Ang Lee's Hulk where he's just beating tanks up and shit. He's beating up tanks. He's like, there's weapon because Tim Blake Nelson tells him like, well, if you do shit for us, we might be able to cure you. So and also like, unless I missed it, was that part that's in all of the trailers for this movie where he's like falling
Gets strapped out of a plane? Yeah, it's cut out of the movie.
Not in the movie.
Yeah.
Not in the movie at all. Just not there. Actually, it wasn't that bad of a shot in the trailer. It looked fine. Yeah, it looks like a finished shot that probably a lot of money went into. Mm-hmm. To cut this movie down to 1 hour and 40 minutes long. This is a very quick sit.
But anyway, they track down Reed Richards. He helps rebuild the machine. They send test people over to the negative zone. They find Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom, or Victor, I guess, who apparently his version of the suit in this is he's wearing this green rag around his head, which, where the fuck did he find that anyway?
I'm like, all right, I won't ask how he survived on this planet for so long if you just tell me how he got a cape. Yeah. If you just tell me how he got a cape, I will fucking forgive everything else about him living on planet Zero for a year.
Yeah. But basically, the way he looks like Dr. Doom is his spacesuit fucking melted to him. So he basically, it's kind of like very similar in effect, in my opinion, to Cobra Commander in the first G.I. Joe movie.
I can see that.
But with fucking green Christmas tree lights underneath it in spots.
And also like the kind of green glow you saw on like Spawn's suit, like in that movie.
It looks fucking ridiculous and awful. But they bring him back. He decides to go on a kill crazy rampage. Goes back to the kills everyone in Area 57.
Surprisingly gruesome. Just like, again, Cronenberg, he makes Tim Blake Nelson's head explode. Like, it goes in. He's like fucking scanner. Dr. Doom is a scanner in this movie. He is just walking around this hallway, making people's heads explode, and it is actually fairly gruesome. There is just blood just all over the wall behind it. Like, wow, this is like kind of an R-rated scene.
But and the other thing, Dr. Doom's powers are so nebulous. It's whatever the movie needs to happen right now. That is Dr. Doom's power.
Yeah, he's a scanner. He can levitate shit. He can
terraform Planet Zero at will. Like, it's just fucking weird and nebulous.
Of Planet Zero.
But he goes back to Planet Zero with the intention of destroying Earth. Which, let's get one thing right. One thing. Dr. Doom. Destroy Earth? No. Conquer Earth? Yes.
Yeah.
Let's get one fucking thing right. One thing. If you're gonna do anything, the very, like,
I mean, there's a part of me that appreciated the fact that at least this movie didn't have some climax where they're just battling in a city again.
No, they went somewhere else with it, and that's great.
And that's fine.
Like, the Fantastic Four need that, to a degree. Like, very much in the comics, and I think the reason the Tim Story ones work that way is the Fantastic Four, they're very much New York characters, but at the same time, they are fucking explorers, you know? Taking them to someplace other than New York City is great. I'm fully on board for that. But it was such a shitty ending fight sequence. It was terrible.
Well, it's not a good movie to look at because it's a very self-contained movie. Like, everything that we're talking about in terms of Dr. Doom coming back, going back to Planet Zero, using this portal to, like, destroy the Earth.
20 minutes.
Yeah, about 20 minutes. It is like the last half hour of this movie is Dr. Doom coming back and being evil and trying to destroy shit. I mean it when I say this is a quick sit. And everything else about this movie feels
rushed.
Yeah, and it feels very self-contained. It feels it's not a good-looking movie to look at because a lot of it is all just inside of really dark bunker laboratories or just in like the lab where they're building this shit, and a lot of this is in this Area 57 area, which looks like the bunker from like Day of the Dead.
Yeah, it really does. I will give the Tim Story thing like at least this, like the fucking Baxter building. looks cool in that fucking
They're
movie.
colorful movies. I mean, I don't think those are good movies.
No, they're really not. They're really not good movies. They're actually really bad movies. But compared to this piece of shit that we just saw, I'm a little nostalgic for them, and I know they were awful.
Yeah,
like
I know what you mean. Like, at least they were fairly good looking movies.
Yeah,
at least, like, I don't know. This to me felt like I was sitting there like, what's the point of this? I don't understand the point of this. I don't understand of making this rushed of a movie, making it so bleak, and really taking away anything that worked in the Roger Corman one, anything that worked in the Tim Story one. Not even good movies. I mean, the Roger Corman one, I think, is honestly, it's fine. It's not great, but I mean, there's things about it that really do work. And I don't know. We got to touch on the fact that of Ben Grimm in this.
He's naked in the fucking movie. He's fucking naked,
and it is so distracting. This is a naked man walking around in this.
Okay, and here's the thing. Like, it's not just that. My entire life, I've seen Ben Grimm wearing pants of some fucking kind. At one point, like, I can't remember if it was the late 70s or the 80s. It might even been into the 90s a little bit. He wore these horrible overall things. But he always wear fucking pants. Pants. You know why? Because he might be a rock monster, but he's a fucking adult man and he'll put pants on.
This, he has it's bad CGI. CGI rock butt cheeks, but no dick. That's why he's so mad.
No dick, like a weird like codpiece rock. But it's just like, why didn't they make him some fucking pants?
Like, he at least had the blue tighty whities in the Roger Corman one. What did he have in the Tim Story ones? Just like,
I think he had like pants,
like Hulk shorts or something.
Yeah, he had shorts or pants. He had pants.
He wasn't naked. Chickless wasn't running around naked in that. Yeah. And Chickless, they built him a suit. Like, I'm sorry, Chickless's suit in the Tim Story ones is better than how he looks in this movie. I'm sorry.
It is, and the Chickless suit is far from perfect. There's a lot wrong with it. He like, the face was just not quite right. The face in this one's not quite right either. There's a lot of, but it's just, the Chickless one, at least he's still the size of, kind of the person he was before. He's a little bigger, a little bulkier. In this, like, how did he get so fucking big? How? How did he get so fucking big?
Planet Zero, green slime. I don't know. I mean, that's just a personal preference with me. Like, I would rather have something that looked like the Chickless suit, something that's actually there, versus this just kind of taking me out of the movie every time, because I can tell it's because it looks like a cartoon. But
you know what? And that's the thing. It's just, I think that was bad. It's just bad CGI, and it didn't look good with the rest of the movie. Whereas, like, in the last two Avengers movies, the Hulk was pure CGI, but he looked fucking great.
Compared to this, yeah.
Yeah,
compared to this, he looked fine. I mean, for all I knew, is he fully CGI in this, or is some of it a suit and they just put CGI over it?
I think it's CGI.
Okay. I mean, it just looks like a straight up cartoon. Like, it's I mean, it's like some of the, I don't know, if there was anything physical going on there, then it's like in, like, Jurassic World, where they did have some practicals there, but they put so much CGI over it that, like, it just looked like a cartoon. And then in this movie, you have one scene where they're using a test monkey to put into...
It was the first scene with a lot of CGI in it.
Wow.
A lot of CGI.
Wow.
And, okay, are we not allowed to have real monkeys on film anymore? Because that's what I want to know. Good question. There's 3 shots of this fucking monkey, and it would have had to have been quicker, cheaper, and more efficient just to get the monkey on set for a fucking day.
Just get a monkey. All it was doing was just sitting there.
It wasn't like just climbing a building. There. It's the monkey is put in a tube.
Yes. Yeah.
Then there's a shot of the monkey with the tube closing, a shot of the monkey in the tube, and a shot of them taking the monkey out of the tube and carrying it down a walkway. And what it is it very much looks like a dude who was directed to, like, just walk down like this, and we'll put a CGI monkey in there.
Why? That is just fucking laziness. That is just fucking... If fucking Clyde in Every Which Way But Loose can punch a fucking biker gang, then you can get a monkey to sit down.
No, and that's the thing, like, you know... It's not even laziness. It's 3 times as much work for someone to animate that fucking monkey.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not laziness. It's fucking stupidity.
I think it's not laziness in terms of the people who are making these effects. It's not laziness in regards to that at all. It's laziness on the part of the director. It's
filmmaking laziness. Yeah. It really is. And speaking of the director, I liked Chronicle.
I loved Chronicle.
And when Josh Trank was announced to be doing Fantastic Four, I was a little excited. I have determined from this movie that he got fucking lucky once, because he's not a good director. There's a couple sequences that looked just fine, but everything else in this movie, from the way the actors are acting, you can't blame everything in poor acting on the actors, especially when you know they're all decent actors.
Yeah.
Everyone in that movie is a decent actor. No one has chemistry, no one works. And beyond that, just the blocking of the shots and everything, every other shot was made to, really looks like it was made to fit inside of a commercial.
Yeah.
Like, every time it shows all 4 of the Fantastic Four, after they have their powers and stuff together, they are always standing in a straight row across. Always. Overhead shots, front shots, they're always in a fucking row.
There is a critic who put it like this: the whole movie feels like a trailer for a movie that never happens. And that honestly, yeah. And yet there were some other sequences in it that I thought did work fine. Like, I don't know, maybe he's just not suited for this kind of movie in this particular style.
He might be, because Chronicle was... Yeah, it might be a style thing, because the scene where Doom's walking around killing people, that scene did look okay.
It did. I mean, my problem with that...
I still thought it was a shitty scene.
Yeah, I mean, my problem with that scene is I thought, like, wow, you take this scene and you put it in, like, a horror film or something, and remove Fantastic Four out of this. Wow, this isn't that bad. Yeah. This is kind of shot well. It's dark. It's gruesome. Like, there are some creepy shots in this sequence. And I'm sitting there in the theater like, I shouldn't be describing a Fantastic Four movie this way. Like, I'm like, this is like, why is this Doctor Doom? Why are these the Fantastic Four? That scene is fine. And the scene, I liked the style of the when it intro Johnny Storm, where he's doing this kind of street race with this car he built, and it's playing the Four Tops in the radio. There were some good music cues there. I liked that. I liked how that was shot fine. I mean, that's the only time that there's a good music cue in this. Other than that, it's really heavy dramatic music that's playing over scenes that are supposed to feel lighthearted. Well, and Kate Mara doing that. She does the Jessica Biel thing from Blade Trinity, where she's like, I gotta do this while listening to my music. Earbuds in, and what the fuck band was she listening to? At the beginning, she was listening to Portishead, which I can get behind. I like Portishead, and that album came out in like 1992, so you can't say they're plugging something new. Like, yeah, that's obviously. I think Josh Trank was like, I like this fucking music. We're gonna put. Oh yeah, I mean, hell, he put the Four Tops on the soundtrack. Right on, cool. Which is fine. But at the same time, it's just like, why does she have to like? Okay, you want to give her a character quirk, but fucking at least get the character right first. I mean, I thought Sue Storm is not a fucking standoffish, cold-hearted bitch. Which is how Kate Mara, who was fine as an actress in this movie, I think. Yeah, performance-wise, she was better than Jessica Alba. Yeah. Much better, and suited the role much better, but just didn't have like the heart. The movie has no heart to it. Yeah. It is just dark, bleak, shallow. Yeah. Characters are either just depressed or sad or beaten or on fire or, I mean, holy shit. I mean, like, I I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that's what they're going for here. They're going with this dark, brooding YA approach to it. And I don't know. Maybe like what if this were to really happen or something? How would this?
I don't want to see that with a Fantastic Four movie. I want to see something that's ridiculous and over the top and suspenseful and joyful. And
Michael Chiklis as Ben Grimm handled that way better than anything in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, the Tim Story movies are far from being grounded in any kind of reality.
But the Fantastic Four shouldn't be grounded in reality.
No, of course not. Yeah. But Chiklis, like, really had that human element in that movie that this movie doesn't have. So here they are trying to ground it in this sort of dark reality or something. I think maybe that's what they're trying to do. Whereas, I'm sorry, Chiklis did that better as Ben Grimm in those movies than this guy is doing as Ben Grimm in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. It's just not. The Fantastic Four. You know what? In a word, the Fantastic Four should be fun. Like, and that's what I'll give the Tim Story movie, especially the movies, especially the first one. Rise of the Silver Surfer was god-awful. But I wasn't surprised when the first one got a sequel because while it wasn't a great movie and they got a lot of things wrong, like they got Doom really wrong in that one too, in my opinion, it was fun. And that's what I want out of a Fantastic Four movie, is I want it to be fun. It doesn't have to be kiddie fun.
Yeah.
But it just has to be fucking fun.
Or at least have some kind of heart to it or something. When we were talking outside, I was like, what kind of bad is this? It's like, okay, they're trying to do the dark thing, like Man of Steel.
But it's like, not that kind of bad.
No, it's not even like, it's not even like, it's not Batman and Robin bad either. It's not Catwoman bad. It's more, honestly, it's more Green Lantern bad, kind of.
It really is. And that's, like, and part of me goes, and that's the thing, it's like, I hate Man of Steel. And I still will say that it was a worse movie than this. And Green Lantern. And Green Lantern was awful.
Green Lantern was bad.
But it's... but the thing I will give Man of Steel, even though I hate it, it at least had enough emotional resonance to make me fucking hate it. You know?
Yeah, like, it did.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I hate Man of Steel is... it at least hit some things to where you're like, motherfucker. Like, the movie had parts that looked really good. Like, I could say everything I want to about Man of Steel and even Dark Knight Rises, but in the long run, on a technical aspect, they're well-made movies. So the fact that they're shitty makes me angry. This movie, the fact that it's shitty just makes me go,
what is happening?
Yeah.
What the fuck is happening?
Yeah. It's that sense of, like, confusion.
Yeah.
Like, I've spent an hour and a half trying to, like, process what's happening.
It was Green Lantern when we're sitting there like, what the fuck? Is that a shit monster?
Why is Parallax a poop monster?
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
so, yeah, this movie is already getting horrific buzz about it.
I want to see what its Rotten Tomatoes score is at, because it was at an 8 when we went in. I want to see how many people put in reviews.
It was at a 7 when I looked at my phone earlier. But if this movie has,
it's up to a 9.
If this movie has a good opening weekend, there is so much... the movie is so not good. It is really, really bad. And there is so much bad buzz, bad press about this thing. I can't imagine it having a good second weekend. Regardless of any of that, there is no fucking way this movie's getting a sequel.
I don't think it will. At least not now. You know what's going to happen is... Fox might make a sequel just to keep the rights. Because that's what this is now. What it is now is Marvel wants the rights back to all their characters, and they're actively trying to get them. I think with the X-Men, it's a lost cause, and I think that's fine. Well, let Bryan Singer finish his fucking run, do what he wants, and then I don't care what happens with the X-Men.
Well, those are good movies. I mean, most of them.
Yeah.
Most of them are good.
Most of them are good movies. Are they, as a comic book fan, are they really accurate or anything like that? No. Did the first X-Men movie has not aged well.
I haven't seen that since it first came out.
I have. It has not aged well. But when it came out, it was fucking fantastic because it was the best we could possibly expect.
Mm-hmm.
But now, as I think the superhero comic book movie, they've reached a point now where we know they can be good, and we know they can be at least somewhat accurate.
Or at least try.
Or at least try.
Or at least try, whether it's tone or character or anything.
A guy in a Captain America outfit on screen is not ridiculous now. Like, if they were to start the X-Men franchise again now, I don't think they would hesitate to put him in a mask.
Mm-hmm.
Any of them in a mask. I don't think they would hesitate to do superhero outfits. And I love the X-Men. The X-Men was my portal into comics.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I started reading. So I would love to see that eventually. But that's the thing. They got back, at least partially, in some aspects, Spider-Man. So, the two big franchises left out there of the Fantastic Four and the X-Men that Fox is doing. Mm-hmm. And I think this kills the Fantastic Four, and I think the only reason Fox will make another one is to just keep the film rights to it.
It wouldn't be the first time they've done that.
No, it wouldn't. it would be the fourth time, I think.
Yes, again. And the Roger Corman one is the one that doesn't get released.
Yeah.
Fucking really? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, it's I bet they'll make another one in a couple years just to keep the film rights. If not, then they're going to try and work out a deal with Marvel to give them back to Marvel. But even in that case, Marvel's smart enough, I don't think they're going to... Like, Spider-Man's Spider-Man. That's why they're doing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But I think with Fantastic Four, they'd let it sit at least probably 5 or 6 years.
Mm-hmm. How long has it been since Rise of the Silver Surfer?
Not that long.
I think like 2007, because Fantastic Four was 2005.
That seems about right.
And Silver Surfer, I think, came out like only 2 years after the first one, the first Tim Story one. You got any final thoughts on this? I mean, do you recommend this as a rental or Netflix or anything?
I don't recommend seeing this movie.
No,
I
neither
really
do
don't.
I.
And you know what? I really not even as a train wreck movie.
I don't either. I think I would.
If your buddy buys it or rents it and you're there, yeah, sure, watch it. Don't expect much. It's bad. It's not even really make fun of it bad. It's just bad.
Not really. The only setting I could think of for me personally where it'd be okay, is if it's me, you, Brian, and Alex watching this.
Yeah.
Like when Alex used to do his bad comic book movie night. Something like that.
Yeah.
Sure.
No, I can see if you're watching, if you're doing an event for yourself or something like that, then absolutely. It's the only reasons to watch Green Lantern or Catwoman, too, And
Elektra.
Yeah.
He did do a double feature of Catwoman and Elektra. It was a long fucking night.
yeah, that's... You gotta do one good and one bad. You can't do two bad. You can't. Especially not two that bad.
That was rough.
Two fucking franchise killers, you know?
That's the only way that I would suggest even giving this thing a shot.
And my thing is, I hate to say it, is I would love to see what Marvel Studios does with Fantastic Four, so I hope this movie doesn't do well. I want the rights to revert back because I want to see what Marvel will do with it. Because the Marvel movies none of them are fucking perfect.
Sure.
But as far as comic book movies, they're the best we're getting, which is so, they're at least... I want to see what they do, I'm waiting for Marvel to fail because I'm at a point now where they have to at some point. There has to be a really bad one in the bunch. There's a lot of imperfect movies that are still pretty good to watch. But
every phase has its Heaven's Gate,
Like, something's got to come. Yeah. Something's coming that's going to be fucking... Like, Marvel's going to fuck up. And I'm going to be okay with it because they're due. They're due for a fuck up. Yeah. It's got to happen. Like, it's got to, right?
At some point.
Yeah. They've got, like, 8 more movies planned. One of them's got to be bad. How the fuck did Ant-Man turn out so good? That's what I want to fucking know. So did I. It wasn't the strongest of the Marvel movies by not at any means, but
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
It was cohesive and fun, like.
And that's not even saying, like, because I know that, like, you see this argument all the time when what we said about Fantastic Four, like, this is just really surprisingly gruesome and just kind of bleak. That doesn't mean that I dislike a bleak or more graphic or gruesome superhero movie or comic book movie. No, that doesn't mean that at all.
Depends.
It depends on what it is.
Like Dredd, perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Watchmen, being dark. Perfect.
Dredd, Watchmen, Punisher.
Yeah.
Something like that. I mean, it has its time and its place.
Like
the Daredevil TV series.
And, like, I like a lighthearted Daredevil, but that TV show was really dark.
Dredd was my favorite movie of that year. That doesn't mean that I want, like,
every movie to be there.
Spider-Man to be like Dredd.
Because it doesn't suit the fucking character, you know? It's like Superman movies don't need to look like Batman movies. They don't.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's one thing I do have, like, that's where I think Marvel's hitting it out of the fucking park is they're building a universe, but they're not feeling the need to be tied down to a specific tone or film style. They're playing with it.
I mean, in the same universe that has Rocket Raccoon, you have Vincent D'Onofrio decapitating a man with a car door.
Exactly.
You know, that's cool. I like that. I like that this is the same universe.
Yeah.
Wow.
but that's great. I love that. And I hope DC pulls it. I really hope they pull it off. I do want to see a DC universe. I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
But I just want to see it. I want to see some joy in there. Because to me, like, I grew up with Marvel. I love Marvel characters. But to me, when you think of comic book superheroes, you immediately think of the DC ones because they're the icons. So you got to make them iconic. You know, if you don't make them iconic, then you're fucked.
Yeah, I mean, and you do you not see that happen? I mean, I Batman v Superman, but what else is coming out in terms of DC?
Batman v Superman, and then they're planning a Justice League, then they're planning...
that I knew.
Then Aquaman, Wonder Woman, fucking Suicide Squad. I mean, that's...
Oh, Suicide Squad, yeah.
Yeah, they're planning a whole bunch of movies, and it's just kind of like... Man, you just gotta, like, let them be the icons they're supposed to be, you know? Superman doesn't need to be a fallible god figure, you know? Like, let him be fucking Superman. Superman doesn't have to be a metaphor for anything except for Superman at this fucking point.
Yeah,
you know? When other comic book companies have allegories for Superman, because Superman is the icon, let Superman be the icon.
We'll see when it comes out next year.
You know what? At this point, it's gonna probably be, one way or another, a lot more watchable than fucking Fantastic Four was. So
yeah,
like whether I hate it or I might like it. I want to be surprised. I really want to be surprised.
I want to like it. I hated Man of Steel, but I want to like Batman v Superman. I don't want to go into it to be miserable. I don't. I'm not that cynical of a person. I didn't go into this movie wanting to hate it. I saw what the bad press was, but I don't want to sit there for an hour and 40 minutes pissed off.
This. Yeah. I wanted this to be... What I went into this movie hoping for was that it was going to be a really good movie, but a shitty Fantastic Four adaptation.
That's the vibe I got from the trailers from it.
And I was hoping for that. I could have been like, so this was a really shitty adaptation, but it was a really good movie. But it wasn't that, sadly.
Well, tomorrow, because they originally planned for a couple other screenings tonight, but I don't know if it was because of the Dragon Ball thing or what, but... They're not getting The Gift here. They're getting that over at Parkway. So Brian and I are going to go see The Gift tomorrow over at Parkway. And next week, I think is like Sinister 2 and like American Ultra.
Ooh, really?
Yeah. And something else. It seems like there was three.
Oh, no. Next week is Straight Outta Compton and The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Oh, okay.
And,
I really fucking want to see Man from U.N.C.L.E.
I want to see both those movies, actually. Yeah,
So do I.
Since 2, American Ultra and Hitman Agent 47 are the weeks after that.
Oh, okay. Well, we got those coming up. So.
And I'll be back for War Room.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, War Room.
I'll be back for War Room in 2 weeks. Right on.
See ya.